Why did Jesus pray to the Father if he is the same person? Jesus left us an example of how we should live. He demonstrated how we should pray to him as the Father of all. He demonstrated the relationship he wanted us to have with him. In order for Jesus to completely fulfill the first and greatest commandment of all, it was imperative that he perform it perfectly. Now in Mark 12:29, Jesus was asked what is the greatest commandment of all. And Jesus said, the greatest commandment of all is called the Shema. And he said, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is only one Lord, and you shall love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all of your mind, and all of your strength. That is Deuteronomy 6:4. All the Jews know this very well because God commanded them to teach it all the time and speak it all the time. And Jesus said that's the most important. Now Jesus demonstrated and actually performed what we are incapable of. He served the Father without fail in the form of a servant before men. Because he did this, it was imperative that he communicate with the Father as a servant to fulfill that law. Philippians 2:6 says, who being in the form of God did not consider it robbery to be equal with God. The form of God is that God is the Holy Spirit. God the Father is the Holy Spirit. According to Jesus in John 4:23 and 24, he told the woman at the well, the time is coming and now is when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeks such to worship him because God is a spirit. That's what Jesus said. God the Father is a spirit. Jesus was in that form. He is the Holy Spirit. Though he was the Holy Spirit, when he took on flesh and blood, he didn't consider it robbery to be equal because he is God. Philippians 2:7 says, he made himself of no reputation. He emptied himself of royalty and took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men and came in the fashion of a man through a woman, so he could be born under the law and be accountable to the law, else he would not be required to keep the law and he could not fulfill it and take it out of our way. Now Jesus would not have been successfully fulfilling the law of God if he did not demonstrate humility to the God of heaven. God became flesh to show us how to serve him. He walked in our shoes and showed us how to have a relationship with him. For I have given you an example, that ye should do as I have done to you. John 13:15. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love, as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savor. Ephesians 5:1. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps. 1 Peter 2:21. Not only was Jesus our example, but it was prophesied that Jesus would cry to his Father in Psalm 89:26 and 27. He shall cry unto me, Thou art my Father, my God, and the rock of my salvation. Also I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth.